Hi, this is Olga. Today I'm going to show you how to craft Saviour Schnapps in Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm going to start out just by showing which ingredients you need, where to find the alchemist and the alchemist bench. If you already know all this, feel free to skip ahead and I'll put the timestamp on the screen for where you can skip ahead to. Okay, so the first alchemist you're going to have access to is in Ratai. The alchemist is right here on the map, and the alchemist bench is just behind the alchemist. If you go around the side, I'll show you where this is right now. If you just go around the right side, don't do that. Just around the right side of here, go in the door, you will find the alchemist bench, and that's where you can craft your potions. So, luckily you already start with the recipe for Saviour Schnapps. It's in the book already. So, for Saviour Schnapps, you're going to need 1 nettle and 2 belladonna. Nettle is found basically everywhere. It's a green spiky plant. I'm afraid I don't know where to get belladonna yet, so I've just been buying it from the alchemist. Every time they restock, it's about 5 belladonna, so with the starting level you could make 2 Saviour Schnapps with those ingredients. If you do know where to find belladonna, great, you're all set to mass make these. Okay, so you've found the alchemy bench. That's great. You actually need to start with this book here on the side, the alchemy book. Now, I've already said that you already start with the recipe for Saviour Schnapps, so you don't need to go find the recipe or any of that. It's right here. Now, if you're like me and you haven't learned to read yet, the recipe will be a little bit jumbled up, but you should be able to unscramble it pretty easily. So you can see here, it requires 1 nettle and 2 belladonna. And I'll just go over the recipe here so you can take a look at exactly what it says. So firstly on the side here, it shows the potion base. The potion base for this recipe is wine or vinum. You can tell from the Latin text below it and also the symbol that shows the upside down triangle with a stroke through it. That's for wine. So you're going to need to use that as the potion base. And right now I'll just unscramble the recipe so you can take a look at that. But hey, you're not here to follow the recipe yourself. You're here because you want me to show you how to do it. So let's go ahead and start the process. So to start, you're just going to need to hold down E by default on keyboard or whatever you've got listed as your prepare hotkey, and that'll just put your ingredients on the bench and we're ready to start making the potion. So as I mentioned, the very first thing you're going to need to do is add the potion base, which in this case is wine. Once again, I've lightened the screen here so you can see that symbol that we mentioned on the bottle, but it doesn't really matter because it'll say wine when you hover over it anyway. Now the first step is to boil the nettles for 2 turns. You only need 1 nettle. So just pick up the nettles from the nettles bag and just plop it into the cauldron. So you're going to need to boil them for 2 turns. In order to boil, you're going to need to mash the bellows button, that's Q by default, until there's bubbles forming. But just before you use the bellows, you're going to want to turn the sand glass. So you're going to need to boil for 2 turns of the sand glass. That's how long it takes for the sand to run down in the glass twice. Okay, and the next step is to grind the belladonna. This is probably the most important bit because I messed this up a lot of times. You remember you need 2 belladonna. This is the most important bit, 2. So you need to do this twice. Take the belladonna from the belladonna bag and put it into the mortar or the pestle, the right-hand dish. And you need to put 2 belladonna in there. That's the most important bit. If you remember anything, it's 2 belladonna. And then you pick up the pestle and just grind those. So that's the grind step. Then the final step is to just pick up that dish and drop it in the cauldron and just boil for 1 more turn of the sand glass. And if you've done all this correctly, remember, boil the nettles first, 1 nettle, 2 turns, 2 belladonna, grind that, boil for 1 more turn. Congratulations, you made your Saviour Schnapps. That was pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Oh yes, and there is one very last step. In order to actually finish making your potion and receive it, just take this file here and just use it on the cauldron. You'll need to hold down the use button. It'll say, "This will finish making the potion. Are you okay with this?" Yep, all good. And you'll receive your Saviour Schnapps.